Hi everyone, welcome to episode I think it's 32, I'm not quite sure, of RBTV. I have no idea. Every time I do it, I get it wrong. Yeah.
I thought you'd have it all wrote down or something.
Yeah. No, well, a professional.
You should have like you stood behind there with like things like that.
Cue card. Of RBTV, I'm with Sonny Williamson, amazing tattoo artist and wonderful friend of mine. That's it. In one.
Thought I'd try to sell me here, like, or chat me up.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see when the cameras are off. And we're going to talk about, I imagine we're going to talk about all sorts, but initially, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys.
Yeah, man.
Sonny's idea, as I mentioned on the last podcast where I lost my mind a little bit and talked about America's Most Wanted by Ice Cube, I'm going to try and keep each episode, like, I think it's really nice. Like, all my friends are into music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of one of them because, fortunately, I've got quite cool friends. Like, I can't relate to anybody who probably, you know, says that I don't like music. Yeah. So
Akira, man.
Yeah, we just talked about that one song that he's got. That
he likes one song.
That all the time.
Crazy that, isn't it?
Yeah. He's in China anyway, so
yeah,
fucking get fucked. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Pet Sounds, which I thought was a great choice. I was trying to say shouting choice at the same time. Choice. Because, and up until earlier on when I did some panic Wikipediaing, I really knew nothing about the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
In terms of like how I knew like how influential they were. And
very influential.
Yeah.
Especially that album.
Well, yeah. So it's been quite interesting for me, and I'll be interested to hear it from somebody like you, from your perspective, and like how it's influenced you. Like, where did your parents like the Beach Boys or anything?
Nah, I don't think so. Well, maybe nah. They never really listened to it when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I only really discovered that album probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
Maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe I think when I was living in Australia, or when I first moved to London, around that sort of time. Maybe a bit of both.
Yeah.
And then, because my best mate Grant loves the album, so I'll just give it a bash. And it's insane.
I mean,
like, it's ridiculously good, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
And then I remember watching a film on Brian Wilson.
Uh-huh.
And that's got the whole story about behind that album and like the build up to it and that.
Right.
The full story about when they were young and that. And
because
that makes the album, I think.
I was reading today, about it's like their 11th studio album, which is mental for any band anyway. Yeah. But for your 11th album to be like so iconic, yeah. And it like there was again, I'm probably just pinching this from whatever I read it on the internet, but like the balance between like it was like a changing of the guard because they actually took like creative control, and it was like,
well, he did, the rest didn't.
Okay.
And the rest hated it, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the rest of them hated it, according to what I've seen. It might be bullshit, but
yeah.
Because they went on tour and he didn't like touring, did he? So he would just sit at home, and he was on other medication and that when he just taking his drugs and that at the time. So he was like a mixture of doing, I think, like acid and mushrooms and something was a weed, and then which is a great combo.
Yeah.
and then he was on like prescription meds to like tame him down and that, wasn't it? And
in the 60s as well, when they didn't have a fucking clue what they were doing.
That's why he's a bit mashed now. And then I think they went on tour one time and he stayed at home, and then he pretty much wrote Pet Sounds.
Right.
Maybe on the piano, like little bits. And then I think he got orchestra in, didn't he? And then it was like, I remember watching this, I think it might have been on the film, so it might have been dramatised a bit, but like being dead picky with the orchestra, like he'd like knew exactly what sounds he wanted. And where he wanted them on the album and that, and the rest of them like didn't trust him and they were falling out over it and that.
Yeah.
Because all the songs before were so innocent, weren't they?
Yeah.
Just about like surfing, even though like none of them surfed, well, only one of them surfed.
Yeah. And so like every promo pictures them with a surfboard.
Yeah, and just about driving a car or like going to cinemas or something.
It's mad, like listening to it today, which is the first time I've listened to it like from start to finish. It was interesting. Like I listened to the mono version on Spotify.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And then I put the remastered, like the stereo one on, which was weird because I was like, well, as soon as it was like stereo, I was like, this could come out like it'd still be a bit old hat, but I was like, it feels like quite contemporary still.
Definitely.
And then you can see like recent Arctic Monkeys influences in like the soundscapes and stuff, I think.
Yes, where it changes, like the music changes, like drastically.
Yeah, and a lot of the harmonies as well.
Right.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so a lot, like, it's weird because like 9 of 13 songs are about like girls and like and being in love.
So most songs are though. 90%
Yeah,
of songs are
yeah. But really, like, but I don't know, like some of it, and I don't know if it's because I'm listening back, thinking about like what I know about like the Beach Boys. Some of it sounded quite like, I don't know if it was in like minor chords and stuff, but they'd be singing about nice things. But a lot of it's like felt quite like dark.
So this is what I love about it. That's what I was going to make. Like the point I was going to make is that it's sad songs sang in a happy way, really.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or even the opposite as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. Like,
because move that if it's in the way, just
the harmonies and shit. That's actually right. The harmonies and stuff like make you feel upbeat. So if you want to listen to a sad song but not just want to like kill yourself, you listen to that.
Yeah.
I think Oasis are kind of similar in a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they can sing about something quite sad, but like have quite powerful music behind it.
Yeah.
So
quite good. Like there's like drive to it.
Yeah.
It
doesn't have to be pure Coldplay sesh.
Yeah. Well, like Don't Look Back in Anger is like, it's an anthem, but it's really like a sad song, but it's probably my favourite Oasis song.
Yeah. But
like,
the music makes it a bit more upbeat. That's what I love about it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that album, I love. I Know There's an Answer.
Yeah.
Like I think that's one of my favourite ones off the album.
Yeah. There's one of them that has been absolutely ruined because it's like a football chant.
Which one?
I can't remember.
Not football chant. What, on the album?
Yeah. It's like, it's maybe like halfway through. Oh fucking hell! I'm gonna have to
Get it up. Yeah, get it up.
Break all the rules and check my phone during the podcast.
So I won't have a clue.
Well, I don't really like football either, but I remember like my brother singing it because my brother used to go to like every Borough game and stuff. It was Sloop John B, which is what the song's called.
Yeah.
Should I just fucking play a bit?
No, you have to do the footy chant. Go on.
Oh, it's the I Want to Go Home. It's like people.
Oh yeah. All right.
Sing it when, I don't know, when the other team would be like losing or whatever. Like they'd sing it like at them. I don't know. It's just like tainted. That came on today, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" I got transported back to being like 10.
Well,
my
really?
brother singing that, and me being like, "We fucking sure."
Oh no way.
But apart from that, but yeah,
That's
and
a great song.
there's it's a good song. There's a song like right towards the end, which was, I was like tallying up like the love songs, and there's one that's just about the singing about how trying to tell people that there's like a better life to be lived out there.
That's what I know. That There's an Answer.
Is that yeah?
That's kind of the same message on that song.
Yeah.
But then they have the same music again later on in another song called like Destroy Your Ego or something.
Right. I don't know. I just had it on.
Yeah. So it's like the same, and it's the same chorus, same melody and everything. But like he's obviously like just wrote 2 songs.
Right.
Couldn't choose what song. Do what? What
lyrics what I put the lyrics to. Yeah.
Or maybe he's done it on purpose. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like it again, it felt like, I think right now in the world, that message like gets thrown around quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's quite a common like internet thing where people are saying like, oh, you don't have to work for the man or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you can carve your own path and like
you don't have to stay in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to like get further in life, you have to be out of your comfort zone all the time, really, don't you?
Yeah, and
that's when I fell in love with the album. Is when I think it was when I first moved to Australia, and then when I moved to London, I was just listening to that album loads.
Yeah,
so I was just like, obviously out of my comfort zone and that.
Yeah.
So it was relatable.
Yeah.
At the time.
And I think it was just interesting. So like 66 or 63 was when it came out, and for them to be like saying that then, I think is quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It was like, it was advanced thinking for back then.
Yeah.
And especially when all his bandmates, they're all cousins and that, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're all hating it because they're like saying like he's obviously doing too much drugs and that. And they're saying they're not singing songs about drugs and stuff. And it's like, it's not just about drugs, is it? It's like more to it than that. But yeah, they were just like, they wanted to sing about surfing and that still. And it was like, the 11th album and that.
Already done 10 albums of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause was it like 2 brothers and 3 cousins or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So the one that so one of them drowned when he was like 39. Dennis. I was reading about how he drowned.
Go on. How did he drown?
So, like, I mean, I presume all of them were always off the nut because of the amount of money that they had at the time.
Yeah, I think they were towards the end of that, yeah.
But he was off his nut, and 3 years previously he'd thrown all of his now ex-wife's belongings in like this part of the Mediterranean Ocean.
Yeah.
And he was like basically on a drug-fueled bender, was like, I'm going to go and get them back. And went on a diving trip and was diving trying to find them off his nut, and he drowned because obviously he was off his nut, and he was like fucking doing like some mad scuba diving or something, looking for like.
He must have regretted sacking her off.
Or he was just fuming like
just
that fucking gold
man.
bracelet, like.
Oh yeah, trying to trade it in.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is he the same guy that was he the drummer?
I don't know, Dennis. Should find out.
I think he might be the same guy that, because they're all cousins obviously.
Yeah.
One of them started shagging the other one's daughter, and the daughter was dead young, like 16.
No.
And he was like 40-year-old or something, and then he was like banging his cousin's daughter, which means he's fucking related. Do you know what I mean? He's related to her.
Yeah, it was Dennis. Yeah.
Is it Dennis one that shagged his daughter as well?
I don't know about that.
Is
I
it
just
drummer.
He was a drummer.
Yeah, I think it's the same dude, man.
Right.
Off his head.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. He was the one that was friends with knew Charles Manson. And
Really?
yeah, so what? Again,
Same sort of.
well, apparently, because they just used to, he apparently just used to pick up hitchhikers all the time. And in LA in the 60s, he picked up 2 hitchhikers, took them back to this house that he was renting, and then apparently the next day, Charles Manson pulled up with them 2 women with a bus full of women, including them 2, and like came over and was like kissing his feet and shit, and was like, "Will you let us in?"
Kissing his feet.
God, that's what it says, yeah.
Nah.
And so he like basically just had all these women in his house, and Charles Manson just like all the time, just like orgies and drugs, and
yeah.
He said apparently there's like a quote where he says he likes Charles Manson because he's really like always shared his LSD, and but then in the same thing he says that he wants to like shoot someone and push him down a well, and that like fucking
too much.
Yeah, and then he just partied with like the Manson family for like years and years and years, and then
we had a great time as well.
Well, Charles Manson's whole thing was to get like he wanted to be a songwriter.
Well, yeah.
So he wrote a song with him, and then
with Dennis.
Yeah. They were going to put it out on Beach Boys' independent label, and they had a massive falling out about something, probably because he's Charles Manson and he's a fucking psychopath.
Loads of money or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
And so they had a falling out. So to get back at him, he recorded the song as a Beach Boys song and put it out. And was telling Charles Manson, I'm going to put your song out, and then renamed it and put it out as a Beach Boys song.
No.
And then that's when
Did Charles... you know what song it was?
I could Google it.
No, yeah.
And then they reckon, the theory is that was the trigger point behind Charles Manson like really going fucking loopy, and because the mass murders that he committed were like 2 doors down from that house. Eventually, he left that house.
Yeah, all right.
His rent was up on the house, Dennis Wilson. His like contract was up, so he just went and he left it with Charles Manson in like this like £100,000 worth of damage apparently, and just went, I'm going, so that the landlord had to deal with kicking out Charles Manson because he didn't want to kick him out.
Whoa.
So then they obviously got evicted. He paid for the damage, and then they went back to either that house or like the house 2 doors down where Sharon Tate and that were obviously got murdered by Charles Manson.
Yeah, I thought that house was some guy offered him a record deal or something, and then he didn't follow through with it.
That was basically
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mad, that, isn't it?
Fucking bananas.
Yeah, I heard that Brian Wilson, when he was writing the album as well, I think he had a piano in his house, and he wasn't really allowed to leave the house because he was crazy. Well, they thought he was crazy, so they pumped him full of meds and that.
Yeah.
So and like their manager was a bit of a fucking mad cunt, wasn't he? Like he would pump him full of drugs and then just sit him on a piano and be like, right, you need to write an album, we need more money on that.
Right.
And he would just be like, force him to write songs and that. And he used to put like a sandpit. He used to put the piano in a sandpit so he could have his bare feet in the sand whilst writing for like inspiration. I thought that was cool as.
That is pretty.
But you know that's pretty gangster, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
We get my kitchen tent into a
into a beach,
into a beach, basically, yeah. get his feet in the sand because he can't leave the house.
Yeah.
It's mad.
That was another thing, like, a thing that I read about the album was that it was more about, it was like a big step because something, like, the management shifted. They either, like, not got rid of him, but maybe Brian Wilson took more control of the songs than the manager previously had or something like that.
Yeah. This might have been something with the dad as well.
Right.
Because their dad used to, I don't know if he used to be the manager or what, but he used to control a lot of stuff, didn't he?
Yeah. You always get it though, like, dad managers. We used to joke about dad managers with bands.
Oh, that's the worst, isn't it? When they like make the gig posters on paint or something.
And
you get that quite a lot, don't you?
Yeah. Or they just turn up to gigs like, stand next to the sound guy and...
Yeah. Make him turn his son's guitar all the way up.
Yeah. I was
turn his guitar all the way up.
I was in a band with a dad manager, very first band I was in, and like the singer was like he was a good singer to be fair, and his dad was lovely, but he was convinced that we had to. He like had this thing in his head where he was like, before you'll be any good at like writing original songs, which we were doing, we were like always playing like gigging our songs. He was like, you need to like nail 100 cover songs, and I was like. And it was because like he was really into like Johnny Thunders and shit like that, like all like 70s punk. Like someone had said it and he'd like read it. So that our singer, you know, like he loved his dad, he worshipped his dad, so he was like, can we like start trying like some covers and stuff and fucking like played all sorts. We're playing like The Damned and shit that I just didn't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I think there's some truth in that. A little bit. Like,
but he was like, we need to nail our 100 covers, and I was like, we fucking don't.
Nah.
Like
because even when we were playing, like when we first started, we would just play covers for like not even that long, to be honest. I think we were just knocking out songs straight away, and that really.
Yeah.
Or giving it a go anyway.
Yeah.
But it'd be terrible. Like.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then the more you try at that, it's like tattooing, isn't it? Like.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can copy like loads of Flash all day long. Still do that now, but but it's like you're not really learning anything, are you? You're just copying it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you got to give it a go, like to draw your own version.
Yeah.
It's a copy the structure in that.
Yeah, it's a fine line. You've got to kind of like, you've got to learn from it. I think exactly what you said. You've got to like understand it and be like, right, you know, like a song.
Yeah.
For instance, has like might be in 4 parts.
Yeah.
You've got your first chorus,
yeah.
bridge, like pre-chorus, chorus, and that, you know what I mean. You can literally just lift that and understand it once you've played it a few times. Be like, right, that's how I'm going to write my songs.
That Brian Wilson was saying that he pretty much copied. What were they called? He pretty much copied. Oh fucking hell! Should have like researched all this properly before we did a podcast on about it. But he copied this band. I forgot their name, man. They would come to me. So he copied this band that would basically like they just did only vocals, so it was just like all harmonies, like 4 guys.
Right.
And then he used to copy them and just like copy their vocal range, and that's how he started singing like high.
Yeah.
And then he said the most important instrument for him was like the human voice.
Yeah.
So they would like get all the harmonies down to a T before they even thought about the music.
Right.
That's what makes it so special, because you don't really like hear that in like modern music at all, do you?
So it's like the other way around, isn't it? You
Yeah,
like,
music's
build
meant,
like a track and just be like sing over that.
Yeah, music's meant,
Yeah.
and then singing shit. So like you get someone that's just
Yeah.
shouting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I was listening to it and some of the harmonies and just some of the vocal range on it, I was like, it's fucking insane. I know it's the 60s and like maybe barbershop and stuff was more popular.
Yeah.
But it's still like up there, you know what I mean? I was like, I was gonna try and sing along in the park, but
no, you can't do that. That's the worst thing about the Beach Boys is that like even when you're in your car on your own blasting it, you can't even sing along.
It's already like a register
Yeah,
too high, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you
It's
know
mad.
what I mean?
Do you know sorry.
No, go on.
I was just going to say the only other person that said that about that I can think of that said that about the human voice is Kanye West.
Really?
Yeah, because I was watching. Mo showed me it actually when we went down to see him and Emily down south.
Oh yeah.
And we watched this video about how he like produces his songs, and he'll take like a noise or like a word that someone's like sang, and then he'll chop that and make a beat out of that.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and then when I've gone back and listened to like Kanye West, I'm like, yeah, there's like it's very minimal. Like there's instruments there, obviously, but like most of the layering is different voices and different like, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's hard to find. Like if you're starting a band, and that's hard to find. loads of people that can sing that you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
Like you're gonna like sing in harmony, and your voices are all gonna suit each other, and that, like that's just not gonna happen, is it?
No.
Really.
No.
But I think their dad or his dad pretty much like beat it into them. Apparently, he used to beat him up on that if he was singing out the key and that. give him a clip, and fucking paid off, didn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if I have any kids,
Go in
I
insane.
get one on piano and I'd be like that, singing key. Fucker.
It's what like
make me some money.
the singer for not the singer, Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5's dad.
Yeah,
He was like that, wasn't
Was he?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why like Michael was so twisted, I reckon, because he was like the youngest one, so he had the most attention on him. But they all got like.
He had no childhood in that really, because he was just forced to sing in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were like, really. So they said anyway, but
That's what I was like. I couldn't believe that it was their 11th studio album. And I was
they were
like,
doing it from a
fucking
young
hell,
age,
must
like
have- yeah.
age. And I think the dad ended up taking like loads of money.
Yeah, probably.
Like was
yeah.
giving himself like more than 20%. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then they all fell out over it and stuff. But that's what happens, isn't it?
it's brutal in the music
But
industry.
that album as well. That album, Pet Sounds. That inspired. That was a big inspiration on the Beatles when they wrote Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah, you can tell.
You can't you?
Yeah.
When I heard that, I was like, whoa, because the Beatles were like the biggest band in the world at that point.
Yeah.
And then I think like Paul McCartney was like heard Pet Sounds and he was like, we need to up our game here, like.
Fuck. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was like, that's like one step ahead of what
Yeah.
they're doing. But when Pet Sounds come out, you know, it got fully slated.
Did it?
Didn't get any good reviews. I don't think so anyway. Well, hardly.
Yeah.
Got massively slated. Got bad reviews, and then
It just kept.
now it's like, what is it, 40 years on?
Yeah.
Well, over that, isn't it? Like 45 or something.
Yeah.
But now it's gone down as like one of the greatest albums of all time.
Yeah. But it's like the thing is about. I was listening to a podcast with Rick Rubin and Andre Thingy from the Outcast the other day, and they were talking about and they were talking about how that when people take a departure or like some of their favorite albums or albums that when they first listened to them a couple of times they weren't keen, and then all of a sudden they were like, you know what I mean?
Because it's too much to take in first listen. If you listen to an album first listen and I think I've had it with some albums that I listen to first go and I absolutely love it and I still love it to this day, but sometimes it's like Arctic Monkeys' latest album, for example.
I got slated.
Yeah, but it's Unreal album. You have to listen to that loads to even take in what's going on.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
It's
It's when there's like more detail to it. It's like they were on about
same with films, man. It's like watching like Shutter Island or something for the first time, and then at the end you're like, hang on, what happened there again?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to watch them again and again, and then you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah. I think like any film, like a sign of a well-made film, like good or bad, is like down to taste, I guess, at the end of the day. But like a well-made film is something where you go home and you're still thinking about it. Like I know I've seen a good film when I go home and I'm like, Lottie, and she's like, fucking shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I'm like, that is a good film because I'm still like processing it and unpacking it or whatever.
But even like Sgt. Pepper, like that album there, like when you first listen to that, you're just like, hang on, is this even the same album? What is going on here?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah,
like all the mad noises and that's going on. And then next minute it just swings back around and comes back in again. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing. That's why you can hear the big inspiration from Pet Sounds and that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, like Sgt. Pepper's was that for the Beatles, really, wasn't it? Like
yeah, Pet Sounds for the Beatles. Yeah, definitely.
And it, like if you think about the vocal harmonies in it and the use of instruments in Pet Sounds, like there's a
it's full orchestra, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's a full orchestra, but there's like Eastern influence into it. Like there's all kinds of crazy shit going on in there, which you wouldn't necessarily hear from like an American pop album at the time. You probably wouldn't hear now, really.
And that was all in his head. He reckons he could like hear it all before it even wrote it. That's mad. That
LSD will do that.
Yeah, I know. But imagine getting that out, man.
Yeah,
being able to get that out in your head and having those people stood in the room with all different instruments and being like, "No, you're hitting that wrong."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or you need to like I don't know.
Yeah.
Go half a step up or something. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what he was like.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? When you get, it's like an unbelievable level of like mastery.
So I can't even draw a leaf sometimes. I've got a leaf in my head and I can't even draw a leaf. I've been drawing that shit for like 10 years, do you know what I mean? And it's like, but this guy can just like control a full orchestra.
Yeah.
Whilst being out his head.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? He's on meds, like dumbing himself down, and he can still do it.
Might help.
It might help. Well, I doubt it.
No, I know what you mean.
But my mate Johnny's seen him the other year. He played at what's that festival called? I'm brain dead today, man.
Don't know. A UK festival?
Yeah.
Festival?
But like, nah, it's like half shit. Not like a main festival, not like Glasgow. It was like
Kendall Calling, Latitude.
Yeah, Kendall Calling.
Kendall
Yeah,
really?
See how you knew what I meant straight away. I was like, I'm being channeled on that festival, yeah, but like, no, you know,
I know what you mean.
Kendall Calling, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was saying that. That's Sean really, but like when he was like, when he was playing, he was just like, he was like singing that, and he was just going, just like burping down the mic and that, and like in the middle of the choruses and that.
Yeah.
But he's still blasting out, man. This was only like 2 years ago, or something.
Yeah, he doesn't play with the Beach Boys anymore, does he?
Well, I think most of them dead, didn't they?
There's still like, I think 3 of them.
There's a.
They replaced Thingy. They replaced the one that drummer.
Did they?
Yeah. But there isn't even that much. There's percussion.
Yeah.
But it's not like traditional drumming, really.
Nah, it's not like.
You know what I mean? Like, cause like the rhythm is like there's a lot of like tambourines and like shakers.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Like the song carries itself, sort of thing. It's not drum driven, is it?
No.
But and there's layers of drums as well, isn't there? Like on that album.
Yeah.
Like hear the snare coming in like dead loud and that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's mint.
Yeah, it's crazy. That the album that they were referencing that I was trying to think of is they were saying Rick Rubin was talking about OK Computer by Radiohead.
Oh, what an album!
And we're saying that when that came out, it got a weird reception. He didn't like it, and like because up until that point they'd been effectively like a sad rock band. They had bits of like electronic stuff, but up until then, because it's a heavily electronic album, isn't it?
OK Computer, yeah, it is.
It's got like Idiotech.
They've got even more electronic now, though, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like, have you seen live performance? He's got the Chaos pad on that.
Yeah,
and he's just like messing on with the vocals and that.
Yeah.
But OK Computer is mad album. Like that opening track, Airbag.
Yeah.
The drum and bass on that, fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah. I like Radiohead. Do you like Radiohead? Obviously.
I love Radiohead, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate it. They get a lot of stick, don't they? I don't know why. Well, actually, no. I do know exactly why, but I don't know. I always look past that in music.
Yeah.
Just because of his voice and that, but the music's just insane. I think.
I think he's got an interesting voice. I think he's got a good voice. So
I like it, yeah. But I can see why people are just like someone before was comparing them to Coldplay or something. And I was like, you can't compare Radiohead to Coldplay, really. Like they're two different bands, like
completely different.
Yeah, completely.
Like one's really intelligent and one's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've actually got a soft spot for Coldplay, mate.
Have you?
Yeah. Only the early stuff though. Like Parachutes.
Parachutes is a good album.
And
A
Rush of Blood to the Head. That's a class album, man.
I've
got that on
bothered
vinyl,
with it.
mate.
Yeah?
Love it, yeah.
I think it came out when I was like full mosh mode in college, I think.
It's pretty white bread, but it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Parachutes is a banger though. That's their first album, innit?
Yeah. Mint.
Yeah. Again, my
but now,
sister
the glow sticks and the fucking weird trousers with like pink laces and that come off it and that. Do you know what I mean?
It's got
like,
too much money.
I don't think it's that. Do you not think like they're trying too hard to have this like weird image or something? Like, I don't know. Try to be like down the kids with glow sticks and that, but like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like out of touch dads.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're a good songwriter, but something happens to not all bands, but some bands when they get to a level of like fame and money where if they become like so out there. Like the lives are so unrelatable that the only way that the music becomes really out there as well. And it's quite hard to like.
Just trying too hard, I think.
Yeah.
Trying to be too current and trying to be like, I don't know, in the just in people's faces constantly. So just like.
You can tell when it's forced, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I think it's important to be like a studio band, like what the Beatles did in that.
Yeah.
Not concentrate on live performances and that. I think that's why Beach Boys did so well.
Yeah.
Because Brian took a back step from all the live shows and that, didn't he? I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he just got too anxious or something. He was saying.
Right.
Couldn't handle it. Just imagine it though, especially back then, all the people screaming like that. Same with the Beatles. All of them had enough of it, didn't they?
Fucking chaos.
You couldn't even hear the music on stage because everyone was screaming.
You've seen Hard Day's Night?
Yeah.
Fucking mental, isn't it? Like.
Yeah. Like when they played in like footy stadiums and Bath End, it was like come out the tannoys and shit. And
there's like girls like passing out and like fucking like just scream like the video is just like roars of like 18-year-olds like or 16-year-olds whatever just like losing their minds like to a point like I've never lost my mind as much as those people in those videos have. You know what I mean? Like not anything. Like I realise I'm quite chill, but like you know what I mean. I still get excited.
No
by
one
shit.
does that anymore though, do they? Really?
No. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe at Justin Bieber concert a few years ago.
Yeah. I thought you meant for you for a second.
Oh, no,
it's because I was about to ask you, what do you think? What would happen to make you like lose your shit like that? And then you just start talking about Justin Bieber.
What would happen to make me lose my shit like that?
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it?
Probably if I was like chilling with Liam Gallagher for a bit.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think I wouldn't lose my shit there. I like the call and that, but then afterwards I'd be like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, yeah. He's good on Twitter.
Oh mate, he's a legend. I love him, mate. Me and Reggie argue about Liam Gallagher every single day. We've had a big argument today about him.
Really?
Yeah. So I had Oasis on this morning, and then I think when he came in, we must have changed it, right? But then Spotify started playing Oasis again, and he was just like, "Fucking hell, how has he managed to get on this playlist again?" And I was like, "What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it, man." And he was just like, he was saying about Q putting in the magazine. Q put in the magazine that he's like was the greatest frontman ever or something.
Right.
And I was like, well, he is. And then
he's one of definitely.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So I was like, and he was like, nah. If you think that, he was like, you can fuck off on that. And he was like, he's not better than Freddie Mercury. And I was like, all right, you can argue that.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like saying he's got one of the greatest voices ever. And then he was like, he has not got one of the greatest voices ever. And he was like, his voice is shit. He can't sing. And he was like, Freddie Mercury's got a better voice. And I was like, yeah, obviously he's got a better voice. But like, if I listen to Freddie Mercury for more than 10 minutes, man, my head is fried. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got steam coming. He's fucking making up his own language and that. All these mad words and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, give Liam Gallagher fucking a nursery rhyme and he'll make it sound class, won't he?
Do you think?
Yeah, man. He would sing Bad Bad Black Sheep the Beast.
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
he's hilarious.
I love that he replies to people on the internet and fucking tortures them.
He is hilarious as well, like.
But he's also. Do you know what's really? Do you know a band called The Story So Far? Yeah, like a pop punk band. But the last couple of albums they've like mellowed out and they're good. Like I like them. And but I watched a music video for one of like the most recent tracks off like the latest album, and the singer is trying so hard to be Liam Gallagher. Honestly, like
he's more than DMAs.
Mate, he's got a fucking parker on.
Yeah.
Like the glasses, hands behind the back.
No.
Everything. No. But he's in a successful pop punk band who already have like their own like identity, and I'm like, surely someone in your band's like,
I'm gonna have to watch that after this.
It's like, brutal. Like someone would be like, have a word. Like if Ray started doing that, I'd be like, mate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somewhat, like the like signed to like a big record label and that. Someone somewhere must have to say
take the piss though. Nah, you can tell if someone's taking the piss.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's so weird. They're a California, like thingy band, like
pop
punk band. Yeah. Proper. He just clearly just fucking.
Well, that's the thing with it being like different countries as well. Is like in England you can't get away with that. Yeah. But
it's too on the nose. Like even like, have you heard of the Snuts?
Yeah.
So they're like very, very like that world, aren't they? But even I don't think their singer would put a fucking park on and like do all that, because it's too much in it. It's too on the nose.
No, yeah. But DMA is about as close as you can get, I think.
Yeah.
But they get away with it.
Yeah.
They kind of pulled it off.
Yeah.
Which is surprising.
If you think about how many people like just buzz off Oasis, you could literally start an Oasis 2.0, call them fucking like.
Yeah, I've watched like
Sunkissed or something like.
Yeah. No, or even like I've watched Oasis tribute band since lockdown and that.
Yeah.
Like in Hartlepool, man, they love it.
Yeah.
There's been two Oasis tribute bands. Like one was like £2 in, which obviously I went to that.
Yeah.
It was obviously tragic. And then there was one the other day for like £18, and I was like, I'm not paying £18 to stand in the rain and watch some Oasis cover band. Like,
yeah. Some people will pay that.
Oh, those people went.
Yeah.
Those people went, but people just love it that much. They'll just go with that shit.
But there's a metal band called Airborne who are from Australia actually.
Yeah.
And they are literally AC/DC.
Yeah.
But like 30 years younger.
Really?
All the songs are like so similar.
Yeah.
They're like they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Like they're mid, like they're class to watch live, but they're literally just AC/DC, just
Yeah.
like 30 years younger. But that many people like AC/DC. That,
In
you know,
Australia as well,
if you
'cause
get
they're Australian, aren't they?
are there?
Yeah.
Right. If you get 5% of AC/DC's fan base, that's still like fucking 500 million people or something.
Yeah,
Isn't it? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
true. True. But there's been loads of bands that have mimicked that shit and haven't got away with it though, haven't they?
yeah,
Like look at The Enemy with Ice Monkeys and that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like they try to get some rivalry going there, and it's just like nah.
No, yeah, I forgot about that. Arctic Monkeys fucking smashed them out the water.
Oh,
Clearly,
of course, yeah. Proto Man.
but yeah, they've had like quite an interesting.
They've had a lot of
path.
help off Josh Homme and that, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. I think him. Did he produce AM as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And third album when it Humbug, or he helped.
Did he?
I know he wrote a lot. He wrote
Yeah.
Crying Light and Guitar Solo on that, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he told them like what direction to kind of how they needed to change.
Yeah.
So it's not too samey because the first and second album kind of similar, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he was like, right, you need to like mature a bit. And I think he like showed them the way, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is what you need, like. But Oasis got away with doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
They've just done the same thing forever.
I think they've refined it though.
Yeah, and obviously like Noel started like stepping in a bit more on that, but like it's still the same song, isn't it? Like the same sound all the way through. Like
Yeah,
Catfish and Bottom as well, they got the same sound
Yeah.
all the way through. But like now it's like I don't think they will.
Yeah, they won't last like
It's
that.
like Royal
long.
Blood. What do you think about them?
I like him.
Yeah, what do you think about like how they're gonna like?
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
Do you know what I mean?
That.
They
yeah,
cannot, like-
yeah, forever.
Yeah, I heard. I don't know if how true this is, but I heard they might for their third album they might have other people on vocals and that.
Right.
Which
that
might
makes
be a good
sense.
idea.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, there's only fucking 2 of them in there.
Yeah,
Like you only. It's.
and the second album was full
Yeah.
of backing tracks a little bit.
Yeah. Of
Did
course
you
it
notice
was,
that?
Yeah.
The first one won,
Right.
But the second one, and I was like, well, I don't know how I feel about
Yeah.
that.
They probably got someone
get
on
more of you in
stage
the band.
hiding behind a curtain and that. Like,
Yeah, but I was like, don't know how I feel about the backing. But it was like vocals coming through like speakers and that.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
into that shit. Dude.
Yeah, you can do that if like. I think if you're a 2-piece, and then you're gonna do that, you have to expand, but like be open and like not tell people, but just you know what I mean, like acknowledge that you can only do so much with 2 people.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
know,
mean?
yeah.
And what they do is good. Obviously, they smashed it, but
But it's weird isn't it, about changing your sound or like updating it
yeah,
without forcing it and being able to pull it off.
yeah. I think you got to be. Again, like I don't know, like you kind of got to be careful who you let in to your like inner circle. But equally, if you take a band like Queens of the Stone Age, that is effectively like apart from Josh Homme and maybe like 1 or 2 others, it's like a revolving door of musicians. Like people come and just like
Yeah,
work with Queens of the Stone Age on like 2 or 3 albums, and then go, and then might come back.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like Dave
Yeah.
Grohl obviously played with him for ages, and then they had a drummer called Joey Castillo for like a couple of years, and but because you've always got like it's probably because Josh Homme is such a like he knows exactly what the fuck he wants, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So he's always gonna like guide it in his way and just
Yeah.
have everyone else like put their creative input into it.
even Oasis did that, didn't they? They went for members like,
Yeah.
but I don't think they even cared who were playing. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Josh Homme probably like, right.
Yeah,
It's
it's like it's on. It's
Whereas
like on
Oasis were
purpose.
like, are you wearing gazelles in the park? Well, I get yourself on.
Yeah,
play
and
some
play
bar
drums.
chords.
Yeah. They went through a lot of drummers, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's
Loads.
mad. So I read some. I think it was about the Arctic Monkeys drummer after like the first album he'd had enough.
No, the bassist, wasn't it?
Was it the bassist?
Yeah, the bass player. Like,
Fucking mad.
I don't know if he had enough. I don't know if they kicked him out or what. Because I also heard that he had stage fright pretty bad.
Right.
So after the first album, he like left, and then he got Nick O'Malley in on bass, who's obviously been in it ever since, and they've never changed members at all,
Right.
which
That's
is
pretty
mint.
good. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
mint. But I actually read in the paper last year when I was on the tube, like I seen a little thing being like, I think it's called Andy, who was the first bass player. He did a podcast talking about how like depressed he is about fucking leaving Arctic Monkeys, which you would be, man. But like, I know if you're gonna be like nervous, like getting stage fright and that, and get nervous and that, but it's just like fucking hell, man. Like you're in a band, aren't you? Like suck it up.
Yeah.
I know some
Yeah.
people can't help it and that, but like you can't moan afterwards, being like, oh,
No.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he was like, he was in Reverend and the Makers as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, he did some stuff with them, I think.
I was in a band like, again, like years and years and years ago, when I was in school, with a group of lads who were like, a lot of them were really into Radiohead, and it was a good band to be fair. Like, I quite enjoyed playing with them. One of the guitarists, or one of the bassists, I can't remember, was he was like super into the music, and like loved like the process and like the craft and like writing the songs together. Couldn't he like playing gigs was like torture for him.
Really?
Like, he hated it, and you could see, and he'd talk about it in practice, and he'd be like just like nervous, and he was like, we were young as well, we were like 16, so it's even harder to like get past those things.
Yeah, when you're 16 in that, it's brutal, isn't it?
But yeah, and he's always been like quite like insular, but he'd literally like he'd like thrash his guitar and stuff, but like he'd have his back to the crowd like most of the time, and like I don't know, it's just painful. One of the reasons, it's not the only reason, but like when we broke up, he was like, I can't do it. He was like, I don't want to play gigs.
Really?
And he was like, I love it. He was like, I'll if you want to like continue writing music, I'll write music. But he's like, I can't play gigs.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like, all I could think about is playing gigs.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
it is when you're that age, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like for me now, I actually like dislike playing gigs. Like don't dislike playing gigs. Like I love playing gigs, but as long as there's shitloads of people there.
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad, but like I cannot be at like towards the end of our band and that, like I just cannot be asked going around London and packing up and being like fucking 12 people there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a slog, innit?
And it was like, yeah, for
the amount of like effort you put in for like
just playing some little shitty night, you know, just for the sake of playing a gig and that. Like I've always loved that, but then towards the end I was like, do you know what, I'd rather we were like in the band practice room like writing new songs than doing that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I was younger, like I used to get proper bad and nervous, like.
Yeah.
Not even that long ago anyway, I just get nervous sometimes. Like sometimes
yeah.
I get proper nervous and I'd be like, just feel sick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you remember your first gig?
Yeah.
Were you not nervous for that?
I was terrified.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I remember playing my first gig and I was shitting myself because I couldn't even play bass. Didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. Just hammering root notes and that, right? But then I remember we played this like intro and it was like the bass didn't come in for like a minute or something. Do you know what I mean? And everyone's playing their instrument and I'm just stood there like waiting to go. And I was like, and by the time it was for me to go, I was that nervous, man. I could hardly put the string, man. And I was like, and then I remember straight after the gig, I turned around. As I took my bass off like that, my mate Chance like jumped up on stage and like put a drum on me and he was like, oh, that's fucking mint, like that. And as he said it like that, his head was like right here and I remember just throwing up. Alright? I just threw up loads. Because his head right next to me, he just went, oh, that fucking stinks. Just threw up all over the stage, man.
It's been that.
It wasn't loads of it, but it was fucking, I don't know what it was, must have just been nerves.
Yeah, it would have been.
Literally just turned around. I'm glad like didn't have one more song in the set. Imagine that.
I was at my very first gig, and the two bands I played in both bands. We were in school and we were in year 11. I played drums for two bands. We both played.
No.
Yeah, and it's because the band that I was like talking about they were like really into like the DIY ethics at the time. To be honest, right, they were all really intelligent lads and all doing really well now. And they had their head screwed on from early age, and I was just like, I just want to fucking play drums. Like I didn't give a shit. I was like,
bash it.
Yeah, I was like, a fucking drink cider and play drums.
Yeah.
And but they were like, we want to play a gig. No one's going to put us on. So why don't we inquire about hiring out the Ark? You know, the point, the main room.
Yeah.
And they were like, right, how many tickets do we need? Like, how much is it? And then they did the maths on how many tickets we needed to sell.
Really?
To break even, which was about like 150. And I think we sold like 300 tickets.
No way.
Just to our school, because we were just like, it was kind of like our leaving do as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the way it was timed. So we were like, just fucking like selling these tickets for like $5, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
And then, fucking, the Ark must have been backflipping because they've been like, who the fuck are these? Like 16-year-olds like shifting tickets.
Yeah.
And played in both bands. And I was like, nervous because I was like, I'm playing like back-to-back sets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like shitting myself. And
but by the second set, you'd be well into it.
I was knackered.
Wait,
yeah.
You'd be into it though.
Oh yeah, like honestly, I thought like, especially playing in front, like it was like School of Rock. You know, like that many people from school.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. I peaked.
Yeah.
Probably did peak then.
Yeah.
It's been it's been downhill.
That's meant that.
And the other time I got proper nervous was the first time we played I played Middlesbrough Music Live when it was like outdoor, like back in the day.
By my shop. In that field.
When it was, that was where the main stage was. Yeah. And we were on. There was like a stage outside on Corporation Road. There was like one end it was outside of Purple Onion, the other end was outside maybe like the Empire or something.
Oh, yeah.
And the band at the time I was playing in were playing, and I just got a tattoo on my forearms, and I thought my dad was gonna like kick off because my dad was buzzing, so he was like, "I'm gonna come and watch you."
Oh, yeah.
So this will make sense, but so I was paranoid about my dad seeing my new tattoo.
Yeah.
So I wore a long sleeved shirt,
Yeah.
right, which is a fucking nightmare to play drums in anyway.
Yeah.
It was like 26 degrees, middle of summer. It was like unbelievably hot, so I was like hot anyway.
Yeah.
And I drank loads.
Did you?
And I got sunstroke, and like I spent like a solid 2 hours throwing up in a Portaloo before we played. And I had like the worst headache I've ever had.
Fuck.
Went on stage, and I was just shitting myself because I was like, I know that I can't play very well. I fucked up like every song. I don't even know if the other lads noticed.
Did you?
Because they were.
Of course they did.
They were.
Of course they did.
They were having a blast.
You would, man.
But I was
I noticed even if like Tom just like misses one little tap on the hi-hat, I'm like,
mate, I was like fucking hitting the rim with the snare drum and like dropping drumsticks and all sorts because I was absolutely fucked. It was meant at the time. It was like meant to be the biggest like gig of my life. You know what I mean? I was like, after this, I was like, we're getting signed and fucking like,
oh shit,
proper fucked it up. And I was like,
reality check for you.
It was hard work. I remember like hitting the cymbals, you know, and it's like something that's like physically like tiring to do. And I was like, we've just started. And I thought, like, I always wanted to like put loads of energy into like my sets, you know what I mean, and like get fuck out my drums. Yeah. And afterwards, I was like, I was fucking goose. Dad was like, when like I've been celebrate, I was like, I just want to go home for the fucking nap. Yeah. I think I went back later and like met everyone and that, but
I've had a few shockers, me like. I remember drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels before a gig before when I was like 16, thinking I was mint. thinking my band was class and that. And I remember, just getting too excited because there was loads of people there and that. And I remember just like going on stage and I'm like, fucking, I don't even tune my bass beforehand and that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like trying to tune it on stage while everyone was pretty much ready to start a song and that. And I remember looking at it and like all I could see was this red line just going like that. And I was like, I can't even focus on it, man. And I was like twisting like that. And then I remember playing. This is so cringy, man. But I remember playing thinking it was mint, like proper fucking into it like that. And when I looked to my left, I remember just seeing Caroline looking at me, just going, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, and then when he'd done that, I thought, fuck, what am I doing here? Am I fucking up? I didn't even know what I was doing wrong, but I think I was about 3 seconds behind everyone else.
Yeah.
But story of my life, that.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's not worse, is it?
Yeah, I played a couple, like, what I found was when I played gigs when I was smashed was that I'd like start the gig and then all of a sudden it'd be the end of the gig and I'd be like, how did that go? I have no idea. And everyone would be like, yeah, mint, and I'd be like, good, because might have been a good thing.
It's like cruise control, really, isn't it?
Yeah, just phone it in.
Yeah, sometimes I get scared when I'm playing. I'll be like thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner and that, like just fucking daydreaming and thinking about.
Mate, yeah, I used to do it all the time.
Like just be daydreaming.
I can't wait to go to KFC.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh fuck, and I'm like, how many bars have I been doing that for? Do you know what I mean? And I'd just be looking around and just waiting for the cue to see like when it goes into the chorus or whatever.
I'd always, and I've heard like other people mention this before, but fuck up with the second I start thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, where am I? And I'd be like, I made that bit, and I'd be like, oh no, I'm like gone.
Yeah.
You know what
I've
I mean?
done
Slip
that
out of time and
loads, man. Just been like, how do I play the verse again? I'm like, shit, it's gone back into the verse. How do I play it again? How does it go again?
Yeah.
And then I'll just be like, something in my head, like towards the end of playing anyway, I'd be like, I'll just learn to be like, just don't even think about it and just let your hand do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You will naturally just like...
Yeah. What I found
some muscle memory in it. If you just trust yourself, you'll naturally just do it.
Yeah.
And the amount of times I've done it, I've just been like, oh, thank fuck for that.
What I found really weird was when, in my book, like the last story, I think it is, spoiler alert, it's
like to the end of a film.
Like, so I completely lost hearing in one of my ears from when we went swimming. Yeah. Like,
went swimming?
We used to go swimming
play music?
in fucking like when we were on tour. because we'd go to like a swimming pool for a wash basically.
Oh, you scruffy cunt, man.
But we'd find like water parks and be like, fuck it, we'll spend a couple of hours like going to Wet and Wild. You know what I mean? Like our equivalent.
Meant that.
Yeah, it was class. Class for like just like blast out your hangover, you get a wash, like
have a good laugh at that as well.
Yeah, and basically, I got what they call like swimmer's ear or whatever, where like it blocked like like it forces like all the
Swimmer's
wax
ear.
in, so like I couldn't hear out of one of my ears. I had left one, I think.
Does he have as well?
A little bit, yeah, but we used to use in-ear monitors, or I did because I had the click track because we were like synced up to like a full backing track and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll be all right. I've still got one ear where I can hear the click and like a little bit of backing. So I was like, it'll be fine. Fucking completely like ruined me. Like it was painful. Like we were playing songs and like the bass drops were coming in at the wrong bit and that like.
Oh no.
Because once like we effectively, our set was like 32 minutes or whatever. It was one track, so we didn't stop and start for each song. It was like go. And then
No
you had to be
way.
perfect for those 32
No
minutes. It
way.
was fucking like looking back, it was mental. It was,
I remember
like,
watching this
intense.
before, and I like obviously I knew that you were playing the click track and that, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like, because whenever we were recording that, Tom used to hate playing with click track.
It's hard,
He
yeah.
hate it. And like it is hard, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had to force
Just hearing
myself to like. Initially, it's a ball ache, and then I think like obviously a long time ago, the first time I ever recorded in the studio to a click, I was like, I hated it and I didn't do a very good job. So then I went back and then like forced myself to play it with click for like a year, and then
Did
after
that.
that I was like, it becomes a lot easier, obviously, like doing anything. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, I just couldn't believe how much of a difference it made because I was like, I can still hear out of one of my ears, I can still hear the click. Why can't I keep in time? It's really weird. It's just
Yeah.
completely like.
I think we've even got some like old recordings that we did on like an 8-track and that, where it would like tempo would like speed up and not even that. Well, some recordings that we did in the house on our own and that,
Yeah,
like tempo and that would just change
yeah,
on the chorus and that. The chorus would just be like faster, then it would just go back to like a slower pace for the verse and that.
yeah.
It was just
It's
that.
natural.
It was just that wild.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I've always been like on the fence about click tracks because you don't want to. Like live, you are like everybody plays the songs faster whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So you click like by like 10 BPM or whatever. But I don't know. I think it's really hard because there's like an energy between like when you're all locked in and you want to fucking like thrash and you do want to speed up. Like you can't control a click to like catch up with you. You know what I mean? Like it's really
Or even in
weird.
between songs. Imagine if something happens in between songs where like.
Yeah. Well, lots of people like trigger it, so like
Right.
in between songs they just have a thing and it'll cut
Yeah.
them in. And I think I was watching Foo Fighters before and I was trying to figure out how they were like controlling the click because the time was just the speed was all over the place in one of the songs, and I was like, maybe they're just not. You know, like if you're Foo Fighters and you're just fucking locked in.
Nah, I don't think they played to a click.
You know
Do you
what I
think
mean?
most bands play to a click or not? I wouldn't think so.
I think a lot do.
Do you?
Yeah. Just based on
Whoa.
putting on a lot of gigs at like the Empire and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
A lot do.
yeah.
Fuck.
Probably more than you realise, but still probably
Yeah.
less than I'm making out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I know indie is like a bit broad, but like indie bands probably less so because it's probably a bit more about like the feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas like a lot of technical metal bands with like
I can understand that, yeah.
have all got a fucking beep in their ear, so that they're like
True. I can understand that. Like.
yeah, it's hard. But yeah, I still don't know where I land on it because you can lose like the soul of the performance a little bit, I guess, through the click.
Maybe.
Depends what you're about.
It depends. Yeah, it does. Like, and it depends how you've rehearsed your set.
Yeah.
If you left time for like stuff in between songs, if you have a bit of crack or whatever, or
Yeah.
what, I don't know, whatever your performance is all about. Really.
Yeah.
It depends, doesn't it?
Do you think you'll?
What, do music again?
Yeah. I was going to say being a band again, but I was like playing or like creating music is probably a nicer way to put it.
I don't know, man.
Just fucking drunk it.
I know, yeah.
Bring your bass in.
I think
Interlude.
I'm not really a songwriter at all.
Right.
Like, but and then for me to want to be in a band because I'm so busy in that now, it would have to be a band that I'm really into. I wouldn't even dare think about starting something fresh.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah. I get
Do you know what I mean?
It's kind of what like
I
how
just think it's too much hard work, man.
yeah.
And then for what at the end of it? play a gig in front of 8 people that I've done a million times. Like, nah,
yeah.
I can't really be a ass man.
Yeah.
But
I know,
but
I get you. Once you've done it, it's hard to be like, fucking hell.
But-
Imagine starting touring again.
yeah,
That's basically what you're doing.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. But with the lads, because we've got that chemistry. We've been playing together for like 10 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If they were like, the only way I'd do that again is if we were just like, not even tell anyone that we're getting back together, and if we were just write a bunch of songs.
Right.
'Cause I feel like we had about 6 or 7 songs left in us before we even finished.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And we ended up just sacking it and just calling it a day because we were like, we're at the peak.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's best to end at your peak and rather than let it die off a little bit. And it was just before Corona and shit, so worked out perfectly, really. But that's the only way I would do music again, I think. What about you?
Yeah, I just with Wraith, I got that thing that you're on about where like they had like a style which is important, I think, anyway, and like a look and a feel and some songs already written.
Yeah.
So it was like, we need a drummer, and we've got gigs booked that are pretty good.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If they'd asked me maybe 6 months before, I'd probably said no.
Really?
Yeah. Because I like it's like just that thing. I was tired of it, and like that fresh. Like, I was like, fuck. Even then, with all that, I was like, fucking hell, do I have it in me to like have another go around? And then I was like, yeah, fucking right, I do. Like, let's have a crack. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever be in a band. I like the idea of like writing music in the same way that I like the idea of buying some paints and doing a painting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though I'm probably not very good at it.
I do miss it. Like,
yeah.
My little brother's sent me like a little tune that he's working on.
Yeah.
Like, he just got like a little home set up with an interface and that.
Yeah.
And I was just like listening to that, and I was like, I'd love to like just put bass down onto that. Just
Yeah,
for a bit of fun and that. Like, nothing too hectic, but doing a band and that again, like, oh mate, the more I got involved in the industry and that, especially now as a unsigned band, trying to make it and that.
Now,
like, the shit you have to do and that, I was cringing towards the end. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, it's all about your image and like your social media. Like, people care more about your social media than they do about your fucking songs and that. And I was just like, do you know what? Not for me that. I just want to have a laugh with my mates, write some songs and go play some gigs and that.
Yeah.
We had some right funny times gigging and that though. Like, best times, didn't they? Like,
yeah, there's nothing better than piling in a van and just fucking like.
Yeah, we had some, and like the last tour we did was like the funniest one. Yeah, right before we had finished, man. I remember we were driving to Isle of Wight. I'm gonna take this story quickly because it's funny.
I've got no time. Yeah,
I've probably told you, right? But we were driving to Isle of Wight, and we stopped off at a service station, and Luke and Johnny went to go to the toilet, and Luke's gone into the toilet. I'm gonna try not to cry of laughter here before I even told you. But Luke's gone into the toilet, closed the cubicle, and then Johnny's like followed him in, and the cubicle next to Luke's gone and that, and Luke sat down. And all he's heard is the cubicle next to him is just like someone shitting all over. It's like big fucking explosion.
Yeah.
And Luke thought it was Johnny, so Luke's gone, "Oh, you dirty cunt!" Right? He was like, "He went get that flush now before it starts fucking stinking." And Johnny's just gone, "It's not me, that mate." And Luke's just gone, "You're fucking joking." And then I was like out the front, like buying shit and that. And then Johnny's come out crying, told me what's happened. And then I'm pissing myself. I could not stop laughing. I was crying with laughter. Then the bloke behind the counter, he heard what had happened. And he was even pissing himself. And we were all pissing ourselves, right? But then Luke said that when Johnny's walked out, Luke's just gone to the bloke, "Don't you even think about wiping your ass before me, man." He's like, "I don't even want to fucking see your face," and that, because he was like scared that he's going to bump into him and that. Oh, that's so funny, man. The service station stops are like,
mate, they're
the
like
best. Because I think you've just been in the van for fucking ages, and then as soon as you get out, you're like,
you're probably dusty as well, and like
you're ready to, and you're getting excited buying sweets and that.
Yeah. You can see it in like the regular people that are at the service station are just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the best. They must see some sights as well. Like,
yeah.
All the lorry drivers and that.
Yeah, the massage chairs are the ones as well.
Oh yeah,
I've
never really had a bash on them.
Especially if you've like
really?
been a long van drive and just like,
yeah, do you reckon?
Spend a fortune.
I always go on the little claw machines and that. That's just like right by the front door. I'm just buzzing to have a go on one of them. I actually won a banana on one of them.
A banana?
Yeah, because me and Johnny walked through and I was like, I seen it on the way in, but I was like, right, I won't say out. And then on the way out, I was like, Johnny, did you see that? And he was like, that banana. Like, interrupted me, like, he's seen it as well. And I was like, try and get it. He was like, yeah, literally, first go, got it. And we were just, like, do you know what I mean? Just crazy with that shit. Yeah. Just daft, really. Like, me and Johnny, like, little kids, man.
It was like, yeah, there's like a feeling of, like, freedom, I think, that I felt most, actually, when I worked at Skins and Needles and we were about to go on tour and, like...
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I think I, like, opened up or something like that day, and then I was like, an hour later I was
I
off,
remember that, yeah.
and I was like, fucking got in the van, shut the door, turned my phone off, and I was like, fucking
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like that, literally, like, it's almost like it's like a holiday, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking...
It's just the whole experience, even driving there and that's all, it's just mint, innit?
Yeah, it's
good crack.
Touring was fucking mint.
Yeah.
But, like, we used to say, like, until, like, playing a gig was the worst part. Because you'd have so much fun.
What?
Like,
playing the gig?
No, playing the gig was the worst part. Because you'd have so much fun in the van going there, fucking around. And then afterwards, like,
the hotel,
partying.
Man. The hotel's after, man.
Yeah. Hotels, you're posh.
Well,
I'm joking. We had hotels as well.
No, I say hotel, but it was just like a hostel.
Yeah.
All bunk beds and that.
Yeah.
We had that.
Yeah, it's just it was mad. The one thing I got to the point with where, like, playing gigs was, like, I got really annoyed if it was like a really shitty venue and there was nowhere to, like, set up. You know what I mean? I was like, all I want is, like, because we had quite a complicated setup, I was like, all I want is, like, a backstage area.
Yeah.
Not to, like, fucking get a shower and, like, sit and eat blue M&Ms and that, you know what I mean? I was like, I just need somewhere to put my gear down and pack it and put it together so that I can, like, get it on stage.
Yeah.
And if it was like a proper shitty little stage where it was like wobbly and that, I was just like...
Well, there's a little shitty band on after you. They're not even that big, and they're just like, we're not moving the drum kit, and you're not allowed to use it.
Yeah.
You have to set the drum kit in front of theirs, and everyone's like still on the side.
Like, I've driven 9 hours from Middlesbrough, like, gives a chance. Then there's a drumstick.
We had that much of a shit stage before in Newcastle. Grant was fucking playing on the windowsill. I swear down, still on the windowsill, mate, behind the curtain. Just still on the windowsill, had a play there. And I was like, fucking thought it was like a Muse podium or something.
I set my drums up in the kitchen while I was making Sunday dinners in the pub before.
No.
Mate, it was fucking hilarious. Just my breakables.
Yeah.
But still, in Bristol.
I love funny shit like that.
I was off it. I had a disabled toilet in Sheffield as well.
Really?
Yeah, it was mint that.
No way.
It's fucking sad. I was like, this is minx if I just need a piss.
Really?
Like, when the gig, like, I had to stay in there because it, like, blocked, like, the bands, the crowd.
Yeah.
So I was like, about 20 minutes before we had, like the band before us were on, we're, like, finishing up, so I had to fucking go lock myself in the disabled toilet, set up all my drums, then wait for the band to finish and unlock the door.
No.
So I felt a sweat down. Yeah. It's fucking mint.
But yeah, I remember we played a gig in Dublin at Whelan's, and we played a gig the night before with this band called Totally Police Club that we were supporting. And they were like, yeah, Whelan's is mint. We played King Tut's in Glasgow, and it was class, like midnight. And he was like, wait till you go to Dublin. Whelan's is insane.
Yeah.
And I drove there. Me and Johnny drove all the gear, and the rest flew. And we were just fuming. But then we got on the ferry and that, and we were like, fucking hell, the ferry was mint, man.
Yeah.
Ended up just getting massages and that. We were just like getting massaged and that. Got off at Dublin, drove there and that from Belfast, and then I got in there. And when you go into a pub and there's like, not a stage, but it's like corner of a room, and it's just like one step about that big.
Yeah.
Just one step going along like that. And there was like one mic stand, and I was like, fucking hell, we're not going to get on here. There's 5 of us, do you know what I mean? I was like, no way we're going to get on that. And I was like, raging. I was like, they took the piss out of my chest. They said this venue's mint and it's dog shit.
Yeah.
So I said, because we were first ones there, I said, I was like, I'm playing a gig tonight and that. I was raging. And he was like, oh no, just go through that door there. Went through a little door and it was massive, man. It was like a town hall, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just like, fucking hell, thank fuck for that. And then when you go backstage, it was like upstairs. And we had this massive room to ourselves and that. Right. Fridge, like full rider and that, like track like Kings and that.
Yeah.
And then I remember after we finished playing, because this must have been like a really old building, loads of rooms and that. When we were upstairs backstage, there was like another secret door. Well, not a secret door, but just a door going into another room. And we went in there, and we were in someone's like 50th birthday party. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, how we end up in here? And there was just like I remember being like a projector with like loads of these photos on it, and just like better buffet. So we were just in there smashing buffet and that.
Mint.
But that's like the best you'll get that. That's one of the best gigs I've played, I think.
Yeah.
Purely for the buffet.
Yeah, tell everyone about your run.
So
runs. Don't know, just kicking stuff.
So I'm going to aim to run 52 miles throughout the full of September to raise money for Shelter, which is homeless charity. It's going to be donated across the North East.
Yeah.
And I think I've raised about 400 quid so far.
Mint.
And I've ran fuck all. Nah, I've done a bit. I've done like...
That's 2 marathons.
2 marathons this month. Got to try and do.
Yeah.
Which is about 2 miles a day. But no one's running every day, are they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't run every day.
No,
but
you got to recover.
I did 13k last week.
Uh-huh.
And then I did 8.5k this morning.
Mint.
But I was boxing last night as well, so I was fucked. So like, and then I was running on boxing as well, but I didn't set me Strava up and that. But so I was like, I'm going to do that because I'm going to be boxing 3 times a week. So I'm doing like little tiny runs and that.
Yeah.
All makes a difference in it. So yeah, I'm doing that for charity. If you want to donate,
cool.
There's a link on my Instagram.
At Sonny Joe Tattooer.
Sonny Joe Tattooer. Or the Sundad account.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sundad.
Mint.
Yeah.
I've got a book out. Please buy it. It's about. I've basically told most of the stories from it there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's interesting.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's really nice and good.
It's normal. Oh, it's all about my time on tour. So if you like that,
it's an easy read as well, isn't it? Like, it's not too big or anything.
Yeah, it's
easy read.
Fly through it. I've had a few mates message me like it's the first book I've read from start to finish.
Yeah, apart from like Biff, Chip and Kipper.
yeah. So yeah, go buy that. It's on my Instagram and go buy some. But have you got any clothes on sale? You selling any t-shirts?
I've got a few t-shirts in my big cartel. Yeah, not many left though. You have to be quick. 20 quid.
Cool. Head to it.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Just desperate to plug my own
Shout out to me, mum.
RipJujitsu.com. Buy some t-shirts that have nothing to do with jiu-jitsu. Just skateboarding. And cobras and shit. So yeah. Thanks for listening. That was mint. Thank you, Sonny.
Sound. Thanks, Rick.
That was a good laugh. Appreciate it.
Good. It's good and nice.
Good and nice and happy.
Yeah, and happy. Lovely.